Welcome back to the channel. Kev Knights here from Vision Prestige on an amazing sunny day. Although unfortunately the old farmers, which we do love farmers, but they're doing their job and they're making a lot of dust and it's freaking me out because anyway, we're going to get straight into this one because you've either come here to see what Kev's up to randomly on the channel, or because you've got a problem with your 3 Series, 1 Series, 5 Series car that is potentially in the E Series of BMWs and that has potentially got this fault or this warning up on the dash, and the annoying little gong telling you that your stop start doesn't work when you turn on your ignition and when you turn off your ignition. Now, yes, there are a lot of things that this could be. Pretty sure we know what this one is straight away. It's a very common fault. We've looked on the instrument cluster check, which will give you this CCID code. And if you Google that, it's going to go straight telling you that your brake pressure sensor in the front of the servo is faulty. It doesn't know what brake pressure is going on in the servo. It's not picking up a signal, so it won't let the stop start work. So we're going to get straight into this one to see exactly what we're dealing with, because so your brake servo is under here, and I'm sure anyone that is watching this video that has got this fault goes, yeah, Kev, I already know about that. And I'm just going to stop it here straight away just to get my torch, because what we're actually dealing with here is, let's see if we can get the camera down there. Hold on, I'll stick that down there, I'll put that down there. So the sensor is that plastic bit there that you can see underneath the brake fluid reservoir. It's all the way down there, and from what I can see, the only way anyone is going to change that is pretty much a baby meerkat with tiny little paws that can work out how to get a sensor out of a servo, because I mean, these big, they're not going down there. So the whole point of this video, hopefully, other than being a little bit out of breath and sweating because I've just been washing everything, is to try and fix this as cheaply as we possibly can, not because we're tight, purely because I appreciate that a lot of people watching this video might not have diagnostic equipment like what we have. They've just got a light up on their dash, they want to fix it as cheaply as possible. They've phoned BMW up, the genuine sensor's 120 quid, and they're clearly common because they've got them on the shelf, and you just think, I just want to fix it cheaper than that. So that's what we're going to try and do. If this works, happy days. If it doesn't, I just won't publish a video and you'll never know about it. So now time is of the essence with this car because it's actually going out tomorrow. It is 3 o'clock right now, and I really need to know by close of play today if this sensor's going to work, because if I've got to buy a genuine one because the cheap one that we got doesn't work, I'm going to have to know about that really soon. So what we've actually done is bought a £15 one. I don't even think it was £15, I think it was less than that, off eBay, which says that it's OE quality. It looks good, it looks exactly the same as the one in there, just hasn't got a BMW badge on it. And let's have a look. But what I really want to try and do is I'm going to try and get that sensor out with taking off as minimal parts as possible. And what I'm actually going to do is try and get down there with my pry bar, sort of like down there like that, and get behind the sensor and pry it out, and then lift it up with the wiring loom and see if it'll actually come out. I don't know if that's going to work. It's going to be next to impossible for me to film that. Can we get that down there onto that sensor? Let's see if we can light it up down there. Oh, look at that, look. Will it stay there? So if I can try and get that to focus up on that, you can see the sensor, which is got that maintenance surface there. It is literally just pushed in. I want to try and get my pry bar down the back of it to pry it out. That's, I mean, in a perfect world, that would be really lovely. I don't know if it's going to work because there's a brake pipe right there. All right, can you see that? You can actually see the sensor moving, look. Life would be too good if that just popped out, wouldn't it? Go on. I mean, getting it out is one thing, but as getting it back in, who knows? But this is what I'm going to do. You can see the sensor moving. If this works, I'll let you know in a minute. Is it focusing up? Oh, it's coming out. Oh, a little bit of air coming out. you know that means that's coming out. There's quite a lot of air coming out. Right, if you can see that, it's actually almost come out. You can see the little ribs on the sensor. I'll show you the sensor in a minute. But I'm going to put my pry bar back down there and carry on prying that out. Right, I'm not sure this is going to be the best footage in the world, let's be honest here. But, so this is the wire here. Can you see that? This is the wire with that sensor on the end. And I've actually managed to, I've actually managed to get the sensor out. I haven't cut any knuckles so far. There's the sensor. Looks fine, from what I can tell. Ignition's off. Unplug that. Let's unplug that and check. No mice have eaten my wire. Clips off. Oh, there we go. Well, it looks perfect in there. Don't know. Let me go and grab me new one. So here, let's have a look to see. Nicely packaged. Bit of Chinese writing on there that I can't understand. Hopefully we don't need to understand. Well, looks the same as the other one. It's even ribbed. I went for a ribbed one. There was some with just one sort of push bit on the end, but I wanted the 3 ribs because it looked more OE. Old sensor, new sensor. Same plug, same pins. Well, let's see if it works. We like a nice little click. Oh, it hasn't clicked on yet. Go on. One little click. Oh, there it goes. Little click, nice. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of lube on that because that's going to be tight to go back in that rubber. Right, so I'm going to put a tiny little bit of white lithium grease around this just to help that on its way in. Hopefully that should do the trick. The problem I'm now going to have is getting that back in. So here's what I'm guessing is going to be my problem, because the hole, as you can see, is down there. I don't know if that's that in focus. Oh. So the hole is down there, which is underneath everything, as you can see. And it was easy to get my pry bar down there to poke it out, but getting it back in might be a whole different scenario. So I'm going to try it with my long nose pliers. So I'm going to be completely honest here, I have no idea how this is going to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to poke it down where it was before. So it went down the right hand side of the master cylinder and then the right hand side of the reservoir. There is brake pipes and everything down there, but if I can just get it to sort of fall down there somehow, and I'll do it in real time for now, but the reality is if that camera goes off, it's because this is just too much of a muddle and I had no idea how I was going to do it. Let me try and see if I can show you what I'm doing. So down there, all these cobwebs are freaking me out a little bit, just because I wish I'd have cleaned a bit better. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? But can you see the sensor hanging down there, and then I've just got to try and get my pliers down the back of that to push it in, but I just can't film it. I've got no one else to hold my camera. God, oh my God, this is like the Krypton factor. So what I'm trying to do, come on, go in. It's going in. Oh, that's in. Right, that was a pain. I don't know how many minutes it's taken. Too many minutes, but it's in. And I'll show you the problem that you've got, because the sensor, I've actually used my long nose pliers with a little bend on them. I disconnected that plug off the top of the reservoir so I could get a bit more slack on the wiring loom to put the sensor in this. And as you can see, my pry bar is now the other way, and it's on the back of the sensor, and it's pushed it in, and it's actually gone in. But the only way that I could do it is by feeding the sensor, which sits like that. That's the problem. It sits like that, because if it sat like that, it'd be really easy. You could just push it in from the top. But you've got a load of brake pipes that come out of the bottom of the reservoir and come out the bottom of the master cylinder, which are in the way. So it has to sit like that. So you actually have to feed it down that side of the reservoir. So the wiring goes down there, as you can see, and then that brake pipe in the middle there, you can use that to make the wire tug from this end and then push the sensor over and push it in. That's exactly what I done. That sounds easy. It was not easy. That was a pain. But I didn't want to take anything off, so it's done now. So we'll just put that plug back on there. Everything's now plugged in. So from what I can tell, this is plug and play. So I'm trying to make this video if you haven't got a diagnostic machine. Hopefully, if this works and this cheap sensor works, we should turn on the ignition now and we shouldn't get a light on if that's worked. Now, on my life, I haven't tried this yet. This is proper live, real time. So you're going to hear my heart sink now if that light comes on when I start this up. Oh, didn't come on, didn't come on, did it come on? Oh, it didn't come on! That's elation, genuine. Because this car's going out tomorrow, but what's more, these cars have been out for so long now. I wish I'd done this 10 years ago, but I've never had this fault before. Clearly it's very common, and I mean, that's it. That's less than a 15 quid fix. Now I will now plug into this and delete the fault, because it will still have a stored fault in the memory, but you don't need to. You can fix this if you've got a long pry bar and some long nose pliers. You can fix it at home. It's probably easier than that if you take off all these bits. You know, if you take off all of the pollen filter housing and everything, you can take that off. I'm sure it's a lot easier to get to. But from what I can tell, it isn't going to give you massive amounts of access, and I just wanted to try and do it without doing anything, and I've actually done it with long nose pliers and a pry bar. So I know now I shouldn't be endorsing or telling people to buy aftermarket products. I know that. But a lot of people haven't got 120 quid to spend on a genuine sensor that potentially can be fixed for less than 15. And if you can do it yourself, that is fixed, it's done. No light on, you know, I mean, I haven't turned it off yet, but it came on and off. The light came on when you started it up and when you turned it off. Let's just quickly check, turn it off. No light. So I'm really happy with that. You know, I don't make a lot of repair videos anymore. We do it sort of more of the running of the business and that sort of stuff. But I thought if this was actually going to work, it'd be really helpful for some people. So we're going to end it there. I'm not going to dribble on. I'll put a link to where I got this sensor from. It was just an eBay one. I don't know if they're the best ones or not, but I know it was cheap. I know it looked identical to the OE one, so that's why I bought it. It's fixed it. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. Let me know if this helped. I hope it does. If it helps one person, awesome. I'll see you on the next one.